So often, when things get tough and we look for support, our supporters rush in to fix things. But sometimes what we need most isn't a solution, it's just someone who truly gets us. How do you get someone? You hold space for them. That's what I'm talking about today. I'm Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. The concept of holding space has gained popularity recently, and it sounds like cool therapy speak, but what does it even mean? Well, actually, it's a pretty deep concept. Let's break this down. Here's what holding space is not: fixing things. It's not about offering solutions or trying to cheer the person up or even minimize their feelings. There's no judgment. It's not analyzing the situation, giving advice, or saying things like, you don't need to feel that way. And it's not distraction. It's not trying to divert someone's focus or ignore difficult emotions or pushing someone to move on before they're ready. Here's what holding space is, whether it's for you or for someone else. First, being an active presence. It means being fully present for yourself and setting aside other distractions and simply sitting with your emotions, even those that feel uncomfortable. Validation. It's about acknowledging the legitimacy of your feelings or the person you're supporting without trying to change those feelings. And this might involve internal phrases like,
This makes sense given what I'm going through.
or
It's okay to feel sad right now.
next is curiosity and acceptance. Instead of fighting against your emotions, explore them with curiosity. What does the sadness feel like in my body? What thoughts accompany this anger? Notice without judgment. And then embrace the impermanence. Remind yourself that emotions are fluid, and while they feel intense in the moment, they will naturally shift and change over time. And this is not easy to implement for a few reasons. One is that we naturally want to avoid discomfort. We're wired to avoid pain, and sitting with difficult emotions feels counterintuitive. And then there's the fear of being overwhelmed. If your emotions have been bottled up, you may worry that allowing yourself to feel them will overwhelm you and lead to a breakdown. And then there's lack of role modeling. Many of us didn't have safe spaces for our emotions while growing up, making it difficult to provide this kind of support for ourselves or others. Also, when I talked about saying validating statements, if you're normally self-critical or not very introspective, you may not know how to come up with these validating statements. Well, I have a tool that can help you with this. It's called the Self-Compassion Companion. I talked about this in a previous video. If you missed it, here's another opportunity to get it. It's a free handout that has 71 self-compassion statements divided into 11 categories. You can look at a category that fits something that you're feeling and then read those statements aloud to yourself. You can get the companion at selftalkhelp.com. If you like the idea of self-compassion statements but want to be able to internalize these affirmations and transform them into your own inner voice, then you'll like this even more. It's called Mindful Moments Weekly. Each week, I'll guide you through immersive affirmations and reflection exercises designed to nurture your mind. Imagine a calming space where you can release stress, cultivate self-compassion, and discover the power of your own positive affirmations. This is a transformational tool to help you develop a more compassionate relationship with yourself. For just $5 a month, less than the price of a grande latte, you'll get weekly guided audio affirmation and reflection exercises and a digital printable guide that includes a coloring page for mindful relaxation. It's delivered as a private podcast so you can listen in your favorite podcast app for maximum convenience. These affirming self-compassion exercises will come to the app each week, but as a bonus, right after you subscribe, there will be some preloaded audio that you can jump into right away for general purposes. These audios include progressive muscle relaxation, body scanning, breath meditation, bedtime wind downs, and more. To join this journey of self-discovery and add useful tools to your toolkit, go to mindfulmomentsweekly.com. Now, getting back to holding space, here's how you can do this. First, you want to start small. Try this with milder emotions instead of diving into your deepest pain. Notice subtle irritation or frustration and simply observe it with kindness. Then you want to practice mindfulness. Guided meditation specifically aimed at feeling emotions without getting carried away by them can help build this skill. If you subscribe to Mindful Moments, you'll get one of these guided meditations. You also want to be more aware of what's happening in your body. The body and mind are connected, and some people are more reactive physically than others. Pay attention to physical manifestations of emotions. Where do you feel anger or sadness in your body? Simply noticing these sensations can create some space around them. Then, of course, there's always the option of having a therapist provide a safe, supportive space to explore difficult emotions and help you develop the ability to hold space for yourself. Let's walk through 2 examples to see what this looks like. Let's take the emotion of disappointment. You've been working hard toward a promotion, but someone else gets the job. You feel disappointed, resentful, and maybe a bit demoralized. Here's how it would look to hold space for yourself. First, acknowledge the emotion. You could say to yourself,
"It makes sense that I'm disappointed. I really wanted this."
Then move to physical awareness. Notice where this disappointment resides in your body. Is your chest tight? Is your stomach churning? Just observing these sensations can help the emotions feel less overwhelming. Then affirm yourself with self-compassionate phrases like,
"This is hard, and it's okay not to be okay right now."
or
"My hard work is still valuable even if I didn't get this specific outcome."
that first statement is on the self-compassion companion that you get at selftalkhelp.com, just in case you need help coming up with these phrases. It's important to recognize that holding space doesn't mean that you wallow in negative feelings forever. It's about allowing them to be present so you can process them and then move on with greater understanding and self-compassion. Let's take another scenario, burnout. You can feel burned out when you've been putting forth a lot of effort towards something but feel unappreciated or feel the reward doesn't match your efforts. Again, you want to validate the pain that you're feeling.
"This feels exhausting and unfair. And yes, I'm feeling resentful and defeated."
It's important to acknowledge the legitimacy of these feelings. You also want to acknowledge your effort.
"I'm working so hard, and it feels like it's never enough. It makes sense that I'm feeling discouraged."
Then do your physical check-in. Notice where you're carrying the stress. Are your muscles tense? Do you have a headache or stomach upset? If you're wondering why you should care about what's going on in your body, it's because when you do this, you are practicing mindfulness. You are moving your thoughts away from the stressor and focusing on the here and now. Being mindful, even if it's just for a few minutes, has been shown to improve depression, anxiety, sleep, and decrease ruminations, and lots of good stuff. I have reference articles in the description of this video that speak to these benefits. We spend so much time in our heads worrying, anticipating future events, reviewing past mistakes, and thinking about all the things that we need to do next. And while we do this, we're mentally absent from what's currently happening. So mindfulness, and in this case, focusing on your body sensations without judgment, removes you from all of the noise and pressures and strips everything down to the basics of the moment. So then you want to engage in soothing practices that calm you, like progressive muscle relaxation if you have tense muscles, or take a warm bath, do gentle stretches, or listen to relaxing music. Then there's the self-compassionate talk. Give yourself permission to rest. It's okay to need a break. Rest is not a luxury, it's essential. Or boundaries matter. I don't have to keep saying yes to everything. Setting boundaries is a form of self-care. Also, you may need to challenge your perfectionism if that's part of who you are.
"I don't have to be perfect all the time. It's okay to ask for help and delegate tasks."
With burnout, you'll have to be patient with yourself. Burnout recovery takes time, and you have to continue to set boundaries and be intentional with your self-care. What I've talked about in this video mostly applies to holding space for yourself, but this can extend to relationships. Holding space for a friend or family member involves listening to them without offering unsolicited advice, allowing them to express their feelings without fear of criticism, and accepting their experience without trying to change it. When people feel heard, they feel loved and accepted. For more on breaking away from perfectionistic thinking and the should trap, watch this video. Thanks for watching today. See you next time.